What's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Bat-like video. Today I'm going to be showcasing the newly buffed Delphox in the Open Great League. Now you're going to be saying to me in a second here, but King, the Open Great League is not here anymore. Correct, we're just doing some Discord battles here with members of the community. These first matches here are against Jinan, who's trolling me, running Swamperts and Lanterns and Dark types and everything. To be fair, like, Delphox is so weak against so many different types of Pokemon, you could easily make the mistake that people are trying to counter you with this thing because you're just weak to ground, water, or rock. Here's a fun fact about this Pokemon: the strongest grass type in the meta, which you would hope a fire type would be able to take care of, will actually only lose in the 2-shield scenario, and it's IV dependent. So it's not really the greatest move update that we've ever seen, but that is generally quite a theme that we're having this season. I mean, put it this way, it's better than Aurasphere Togekiss. It is a little bit better than that, because at least it's kind of fun to use. This Pokemon is kind of glassy. It does kind of hit hard, but I think if you're going to go for a Blast Burn user, you would most likely stick to Charizard for that one. Now let's talk about the new move as well, Mystical Fire. So in the first time around, you will reach Mystical Fire and Blast Burn at the same time. So it's almost pointless going for Mystical Fire, unless you think the opponent is definitely going to shield, and you want to debuff their attack. On the second turn around, you will get to it 1 Fire Spin less. So if you want to go for back-to-back Mystical Fire, you will get to that a little bit faster than 2 Blast Burns. But in general, having a free turn move, which doesn't really do a ton of damage, and has okay energy generation to be fair, it's not really benefiting this Pokemon that much, and that's why things like Trevenant are able to take this in pretty much all even shielding scenarios, unless you have specific IVs to farm it down. Anyway, Jinan, thank you very much for the battles here. Jinan was trolling me here, trying to counter me. As you can see, we're getting Umbreons, we're getting Swamperts, Lanterns here. I think I start trolling him back here quite soon. In terms of should you build this Pokemon, right, the answer is basically no. Like, if you're looking it to perform well, the answer is no. If you're looking for something fun to use that you haven't used for a while, yeah, use it. Like, it's pretty fun. It does an okay amount of damage. I mean, like I said, you're going to struggle to farm stuff down, and maybe on the last Pokemon you get off a debuff, like, that's kind of nice. But, you know, it's nothing special. Nothing too exciting. I think just the fact that it's kind of new, and to be honest with you, Delphox is quite a coolly designed Pokemon. I think those are the main benefits of using it if you want to use something different, just to kind of spice things up a little bit. But of course, we're not going to have Open Great League back till next season, and next week we have the Catch Cup, which I don't think includes Pokemon that are caught this season. It only includes Pokemon that are caught in general that week, which is so stupid. This might be something I would bust out in the Catch Cup just for fun, you know, just for memes and good vibes and everything, but it doesn't even look like it'll be available for that, so that's kind of trash. We're going to look to farm down the Lantern with Altaria. I decided to come in and get a couple of Fire Spins ahead, and draw back out their Umbreon. Luckily enough, they decided not to come into Umbreon, but I think we're going to see something in the back, which again, it's literally just a triple hard counter team, so you're going to see me making a very interesting choice in the next match. Yeah, but here comes Altaria. Wow, free Pokemon that absolutely shit on Delphox. What a coincidence, huh? Jinan, what a coincidence. Every match, I'm only messing around. These battles are not serious, it's just Discord community battles. By the way, we do have a nice Discord community, so feel free to join, link in the description down below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe if you're interested in this sort of showcase, and if you want to see me showcase more different new Pokemon in the future, and of course some strong teams to climb with. If you're playing the Little Cup this week, I highly recommend checking out my last 2 videos. Those 2 teams are very powerful, and I think you'll be able to climb some elo with those. So next game the opponent comes in with Ferrothorn. By the way guys, if you can tell, I'm a little bit sick, so if I sound a little bit out of breath, I am genuinely out of breath here. So I decided to run Double Fairy because I was expecting like the Dark types, the Altarias in the back, but no, of course we got the Poison type now. So the trolling is continuing here. We're going to get off a Play Rough on CMP, which is quite nice. We kind of need to get this move through, and even though this is resisted, that does a good amount of damage, and it might even put us into a range where we can farm down. The fact that it's CMP is perfect, giving our Delphox a chance to farm it down, and maybe get ahead on energy a little bit, which is like your only real hope and prayer with this Pokemon. Now of course the opponent has a Ferrothorn in the front. I highly doubt that's coming back in, so we'll see a Noctowl come through. I decided to throw this move straight away. I could have went for the Blast Burn, but I just wanted to chip this thing, and go in ahead and swap into Ninetales. Now to be honest with you, didn't realise that I had a Charm on this thing. If I had Powder Snow, this match would be so much better, but this might be okay. These charms are adding up. The opponent will get to a move here. It looks like they're just getting to the move now, by the looks of things. They're going for the Power Whip. Ninetales can live that, even though Shadow it is decently bulky, and we'll see what the opponent wants to do. They probably don't want Ninetales on their Noctowl, so they do shield it, but it's a bit of an interesting shield, and especially going for the move is a bit interesting, of course, knowing that I have Delphox in the back. We go in and go for the farm down, and can we take this thing out with a Blast Burn? Let's see how much damage this does. Yeah, so definitely from this range it'll take out. And as you can see, like one mythical fire and a couple of fire spins really do add up on this thing. I think this is just about in mystical fire range. If I call it mythical fire, I can only apologise, but we do go for a blast burn to finish it off there. This thing also knows flame charge, psychic, fire blast, and a few other moves. So it has a decent amount of variety. Now, I was expecting the Swampert lead, and in comes Venusaur, and in comes Altaria, so we don't have an amazing answer for this apart from Charizard. So what I decided to do is go for a Sludge, get a shield off the opponent, and put this in a more comfortable position where we can just easily outpace the Dragon Claws, and look to take out Altaria and take Switch. Dragon Claw coming through, will the opponent shield it up? They do let it go, and at this point, again, I do want to take Switch if possible here. I'm going to fire off this next move straight away. To be honest with you, this is just kind of a messing around practice battle in Discord, so I'm not really keeping a full track of energy here. You're going to see me throwing moves basically straight away as soon as I get them here. Could have went for an overfarm probably. But back in will come, let's see what they come in with, Swampert, yeah. So we can go for Dragon Claw here, and I think maybe the opponent was not tracking energy because this is not too threatening, but they do shield it, which is kind of nice. I was expecting maybe like a little bit of an overfarm, you know, just kind of let the Dragon Claw go, and then look to maybe get a, you know, Hydro Cannon off in Venusaur. But in comes their Frostlass, and this is like one of the good matches for this thing. However, this thing probably beats us in the zeros, because of course they know Shadow Ball. Again, we're not overfarming, and we almost have Frenzy Plant loaded on Venusaur. The opponent's not going to get to an Earthquake, and quite a cool animation for that new move. So the opponent is kind of forced to throw here. If we do get to the Blast Burn, it will take out. And yeah, at this point, like I said, we're just one off the Frenzy. Pretty simple match here in the end. So since I run Delphox in the lead last time, I was expecting a Swampert. And you know, you just have to poly the Venusaur sometimes, that's just what happens, so that's what you get for trying to hard counter me, buddy. If you just run a random Pokemon, you probably would have won that. But GG's, it's all in good fun here, of course. And thank you very much to G-Nan for the battles. Now we're hopping into some battles with Jai here. Thank you very much, Jai, for joining us here for this. And Jai's going to be running some funny teams. And this just turns into like a bit of a battle of the spice here. You're going to see quite soon. Jai's actually running Braxian, or Braxian, I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. You know, maybe I should learn these things before making videos about them, but, you know, I'm sure you guys probably know, so you can let me know in the comments down below. Very educational video here, don't even know the names of the Pokemon. But they get an attack rise with the Flame Charge, and that's done way more damage than I expected it to. This Pokemon is actually better, in my personal opinion. We're actually loaded on energy here against the Swampert, so this is looking absolutely fine. One Blast Burn will almost put it into Dragon Claw range, and the Swampert just doesn't know where to go here at this point. This almost takes them out, and the opponent does swap out and banks a Hydro. So we go into the mirror match here, Delphox versus Delphox. First game in, they're running Braxian and Delphox. I decide to call it. They do full send the Blast Burn, which even against the resisted fire type, it just does a ton of damage. If you guys have seen it once with Charizard, you've seen it 100 times. I decided to go for the Mystical Fire, hoping I can reach another one, but unfortunately won't be able to. Now my only real hope here is that this thing reaches moves kind of slowly, and it's kind of awkward with the free turn moves, so I'm just kind of hoping that I can reach another move. I'm expecting a Mystical Fire coming through here, and let's see if the opponent decides to swap out. We both try to go for the catch, and Jai goes for the catch first. Lucky enough his timer came up first, otherwise I would have been catching that, and yeah, it would have been a little bit awkward. GG's first game, and let's hop on to the next one and see what happens. Like I said, this does start to get ridiculous after a while. So we've got breaks in here, and what do I have in the back? We've got Dragonair and Decadooey. If you know, you know. If you know about Decadooey, you know about Decadooey. I decided to run this for any potential Swamperts and Lanturns that might be there to potentially counter Delphox. So this will be interesting to see if we can get this out. We safe swap into Dragonair. Of course we get the attack drop, so I'm hoping I can eat this move. It is just going to be the Flame Charge, which does absolutely nothing. And in comes a Walrein. One of the positive matches for Delphox in this league is Walrein, of course. As you would expect, of course, a fire against an ice type, you would expect that to be positive. Unless their name is Frostlass. But in comes the Icicle Spear to take us out, and we'll look to get a farm down here. This will just be another Icicle Spear, but as you're about to see, this chunks, it does really do a little bit of extra damage, and it gets us quite low. Back in comes Swampert again. I'm looking to get off Mystical Fire. I'm not expecting Jai to know the count, so he might expect this to be a Blast Burn. He does let that go, and in comes Decadooey, and back in comes Braixen. Can we farm this the whole way down? Jai decides to throw a move here last second, because I think we were just about winning that fast move beatdown. We go ahead and fire it off. We're in such low health, and Swampert throws a move as well. Do we have a chance to farm this the whole way down? Hydro Cannon coming through. These are just absolutely chunking, and we live that with 1 or 2 HP there. GG's. I decided to bring that one out just for fun. And let's see what we've got next match. You know, that's pretty much the theme of the rest of these battles here. Braixen versus Delphox. This Braixen, honestly, I think it's ranked like 30, he said. In comes Slowking, in comes Trevenant, so I'm like, oh no, oh no. We're going to slightly outpace to the first Shadow Ball. But yeah, this is kind of looking tough. The opponent will probably go for bait here. I was kind of expecting a bait, but I sort of need to try to like maintain alignment if possible. And yeah, it is a Seed Bomb, unfortunately. I almost no-shielded it because, you know, the Shadow Claws against Delphox really add up quickly. We go for a Surf, I think. Jai probably doesn't know the counts on this thing. Or maybe from that range, that Surf would have been getting the Trevenant super low. But at this point, they're up to 10, and I'm expecting another bait here. But yeah, of course, it is another bait. And what I decide to do is completely sacrifice the Slowbro. Goodbye, Slowbro. Thank you for your help. It just absolutely sacrifices this thing, all in the name of Delphox. We're making sacrifices here for the Fox. And let's see what comes back in. Yeah, but in comes Stunfisk. They catch the Blast Burn, bro, and I just, like, stop bubbling it. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. I didn't realize this thing was on such high health. I kind of forgot what the health situation was. But we do reach the Blast Burn on CMP. Very nice catch by Jai. If I had went for an overfarm and maybe, like, got off a full Blast Burn, I may not have won still, but I would have been curious to see how much a Blast Burn done to Stunfisk. I'm sure it definitely would have been getting it quite low. So very fun match there. And one Rock Slide would probably just take it out from near enough full health. And people in my community here are doing some raids, so I'm getting a few more FENNEKIN here tonight. But hopping into what I believe might be one of the last battles here, it is a Tapu Fini. Jai recently got himself a nice fresh Tapu Fini, and of course he's showcasing it here. Now a Surf would do a lot of damage on this thing, on the Galarian Zapdos, so I do decide to shield it up, and look to farm up a little bit extra, and fire off the Brave Bird, which would probably near enough take out Tapu Fini. Brave Bird number 1 coming through, and like what do we even swap into? We've got Moltres, which of course is a Dark type, and will be weak to their moves. In comes Frostlass, so I decided to go straight for the Ancient Power, which will be super effective damage. Not doing a ton of damage, but definitely getting it a little bit low. Now, I think I misplay here. I think I could have just let this go at this point, but I decided I want to get a bit of a farm down with Moltres. Or no, I decided to just want to throw the move straight off. Fair enough. But I guess I want to try to get some sort of alignment here. Maybe try to get the Zapdos back on the Tapu and maybe hope to get off another move. At least we kind of, you know, got Jai to throw here. So this is not like completely terrible. We just go straight for the close combat because I think from this range it will take out. And it does, thankfully. Now this is going to be a little bit of Fox on Fox action here to finish out. We're going to go straight for the Blast Burn. This is either going to be a debuff or Blast Burn. Let's see what Jai calls. He calls the bait and it does happen to be the Blast Burn. Now this thing does no Psyshock, so we'll see if it goes for Flame Charge or Psyshock. They do go for Flame Charge, which does so much damage, and we are just about able to farm down. So yeah, this Pokemon is kind of fun. Definitely not meta, but if you're looking to try something new, it could be fun. Braixen is definitely a better Pokemon, so if you want to try out a new fire type, I'd probably try out that one instead. And if that ever gets a move update, I think it'll be like really up there in the Great League meta. It knows Psyshock, it knows Flame Charge, it could do with maybe like Mystical Fire, and if Ember ever gets a buff, that thing will be nasty. And of course it's a pure fire type as well, which is great. Thank you everybody, thank you very much for watching, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Like, subscribe, join Discord if you want to become a part of the community here. Make sure you go out and catch some Fennekins, and at the very least, get yourself some extra Stardust. It is triple Stardust. Take care everybody, and I'll see you all next time.